Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? Welcome to the jungle. I don't know what I just did, but anyways, I am at Herman Park before I go to my little gig. Y'all like my shoes? My little orange shoes? Ain't they cute? That was ghetto. Why did I say cute? No, I'm talking like that. Anyway, so how y'all doing today? I'm doing great. It's a beautiful Sunday. Oh, look at the ducks. So are they like in a line or something? Hold on, let's get close to these ducks. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to y'all about something really quickly. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, generational curses, because I think it's important, and I think that's why a lot of people can be kind of screwed up, because they ain't dealt with their past, or they're dealing with their ancestors' demons, or their their ancestors or generations that came before them, their demons, right? So I talk about this because I think it's important to, kind of know where you came from. You ain't got to go dig too deep, because if you dig too deep, you're going to find a lot of stuff. But I think that you have to pray that out for you, and make sure you pray that out for your kids, so they won't have to go through that. You could, for example, just like, they say, cancer might run in the family, or dementia, or certain things run in the family. It's because it's hereditary. It can be passed down. So, things that your ancestors and, they went through, you could be like, you could be one trying to figure out, like, why am I having these crazy thoughts, or why do I feel this way, or, what's going on with me? I feel like, a mental, problem or whatever. Your grandmother could have dealt, your great-great-grandmother could have dealt with that, or your great-great-grandfather. You got to remember that when when generations that came before us were growing up, and our ancestors that came before us, they dealt with a lot, from slavery, from incest, from just all kinds of stuff, being beat, seeing people get beat because of a certain color they are. You had slaves working for white people, and they would only talk to the light skin the light skin helpers, because they were closer to white. So mentally, that can do something to a person's mind. And back in the day, they just had to deal with it. They didn't have counseling. They didn't have YouTube and social media. They didn't have an outlet. They couldn't just protest like that. So imagine that just going from generation to generation to generation, passing on down, and nobody really dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a lot of hatred, you know what I'm saying? And like I told y'all before, I've dealt with, like, the whole, people coming at me because I was dark skinned and, whatever. But I had to deal with that, and I feel like it's important, before I have kids, I have a little chocolate child or whatever. And, I can, teach her how to deal with that, and teach her how to have high self-esteem and feel good about herself, and make sure that I don't never instill anything in her that make her have low self-esteem. So you have to watch how you handle your children. You have to pray over your children. You have to pray over yourself if you have some self-hatred going on with you or something like that, because I think a lot of us don't know where this stuff is coming from, but it can be passed down. Crazy thoughts, demonic thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Your grandfather might have dealt with that, or your great-great-grandmother might have dealt with that. All the craziness that went on back in the day, I'm telling you, it can be passed down, and that's why people battle it so much, and that's why so many people battle the same things or go to prison for the same things, because some things can be passed down. Like, have you ever heard a story of my dad was a drug dealer, the son was a drug dealer, his son was a drug dealer, and all of them end up in jail or dead? It happens. I'm gonna come back.